Oftentimes in our lives when we're going through life and things will be going real well, we'll get hit in the face. Life will knock you right between the eyes. It'll come out of nowhere. It'll be stuff you can't anticipate.
You'll find yourself feeling stressed out. You'll find yourself feeling like everything is falling apart around you and within you. And you'll feel like you're being buried alive, buried in pain and tears and the uncertainty of your future. That experience will break so many people. Most people who go through that experience will back away from their dreams and goals. They stop trying, they stop stretching, and they start shrinking into living a life below what was given to them by the universe. But there's a small number of people who know in their heart of hearts that no matter how much fire I have to endure, no matter how much heat I have to put myself through, no matter the number of beatings I have to take, it will all be worth it.
Because I know for a fact that if I can endure this process, if I can claw my way through this, if I can keep pushing onward and upward through all this I will be left standing at the top of that fucking mountain of success as a warrior, stronger than ever before because of that battle.
Failure is not falling down. Failure is staying down, because it's not in falling that makes us failures. It's in not getting up that makes us failures. And you get to decide if you get up or you don't get up. Every horrible situation can either be the greatest moment for change or the worst moment that ruins everything. And the question is, will you let this failure make you or break you? You get to decide. Your hardship doesn't.
And you got to decide that you're going to be so relentless that you'll constantly look for ways to get through it. You'll constantly keep moving. You'll constantly keep getting better so that you are never stuck in one place for the rest of your life. You're going to find a way or make a way, and you'll stop at nothing to get it.
You've got to declare war against that trial, against that tribulation. And you got to say, no matter how many no's I have to face, no matter how much pain I got to put myself through, no matter how hard it is or how hard it gets, I will not quit. I will turn every single tragedy in my life into a victory. People won't even recognize me from all the improvements I'm about to make to myself and my mentality because of these hard times. I'm going to come out of this whole thing as a diamond because of all the pressure I've fought my way through.
The moments that take your breath away are the ones that count. You need the downs to create the ups. You need the ups to create the downs. You need to feel the opposites to truly understand the full reality of the life you are living. I don't care if you've been beaten to the floor, if your legs are too tired to lift that weight. Break through that barrier and create new ones for you. Get back up and live life, because every second spent not doing so is time wasted, time that you will never get back.
You gotta talk to yourself day in and day out, selling yourself on you and on your potentials. When you feel that inner negative conversation saying you can't do it, when life keeps hitting you down to the ground and you got tears in your eyes, all I want you to do every day is just say to yourself, it is possible. If other people have done it, then I can do it too. This pain won't control me. I'm gonna harness it and turn it into something better.
And when it feels like that thing is telling you to quit, you look at it directly and say, I'm not going nowhere. I will break you before you break me. You will not defeat me. You will not destroy me.
You've been through so much hell. Why would you even consider quitting now? You cannot quit now. You cannot quit now. You're so close to victory. You just gotta hold out a little longer. Go a little further. Try a little bit more.
And when you're talking about success, it's not about skill. When you get to a certain level of success, it is about stamina. It's about you declaring to yourself and the world, I will not be broken. You cannot take me. I fought too long. I fought too hard. It's too late for giving up now. You should have broke me a long time ago, because I am unbreakable now.
You're gonna have more days you don't want to do something than you are gonna want to.
Most days, you're not gonna be pumped up. Most days, you're gonna feel weak. Most days, you're gonna want to stay in bed. Most days, you're gonna feel like most people do. But if you do what most people do, which is give yourself reasons to not get the tasks done, not get to work, not get out of bed, you're gonna end up like most people, barely getting by, being unhappy with their lives.
You gotta make a different decision. You gotta decide enough is enough. You've had enough of being average and ordinary. You're tired of being mediocre. You're now gonna push yourself.
It's gonna feel better when it's over. You know that when you get done doing the hard thing, it's gonna feel better. Waking up, working out, taking care of some tedious task. You know you will feel better when it is done. You also know that if you don't do the hard thing, the thing that you don't want to do, that you don't feel like doing, you know if you don't do it, you're going to feel inferior. You know you're going to feel weak. And that feeling, that horrible feeling, you know that feeling too. You know it. You know it's true. Those are the two outcomes. One will cause you some short-term gratification. You'll get to sleep a little bit more. You won't have to put out during a workout. You don't have to do this tedious task. You'll get some short-term gratification, but the long-term regret will be strong and it will inflict pain on you.
Successful people do one thing more than others. Make movement. They get it done.
While most people are slacking off, relaxing, wasting their time, the winners in the world are putting in work, studying their craft, practicing, running drills on how to perform better, putting in all those extra hours when everyone's already gone home.
And of course, you'll get tired, you'll get worn out, you'll feel exhausted and lazy and not want to work, and you'll have some really, really rough days. But when that happens, you gotta tell yourself, I will not stop. I don't care what I have to go through. I'm gonna get this done, no matter what.
You do what you know you need to do to move forward. And when you do that thing, you know you're gonna feel strong and you're gonna feel gratified and you're gonna feel worthy of this life. That's how you're gonna feel when you do what you're supposed to do. Remember that. Remember that the pain right now will absolutely pay off in the future. And the capitulation and the conceding defeat to weakness, that will absolutely result in the pain of regret and remorse later. You know this to be true, so don't allow it. Remember the feeling of victory that comes from doing the right thing, the hard thing. Remember that feeling and then go get it done.
The work comes before the belief. You're going to have to do some work, and you're going to have to keep doing it consistently, even when you're not seeing the results, even when you feel like giving up. And eventually, results will begin to sprout as you do this. And when that happens, you're going to build faith, build belief in what it is you're doing. You start to realize, hey, I can really do this. This is actually working. And as you work more success sprouts.
You're going to start to create something. You have no motivation, you have no drive, you have no ambition, but you're going to force it to happen anyway because that's what bad motherfuckers do, and that's what you are. You're going to go through day by day by day doing the work regardless of how you feel like it. And then what's going to happen is you're going to see a little bit of a result. And when you see that little bit of result, you're going to get happy. And what's going to happen in your brain is it's going to open up the possibilities for you of what you can actually achieve, because now you can clearly see that if I do the work, this result will happen. And when this result starts to happen, you get excited. And guess what comes with the excitement? The motivation.
The inches we need to become dominant in any field of life are all around us. It's in every task, every project, every mission, every day, every second. When you do the small things, how do you do them? Because if you're putting in 120% in those small tasks, I know for sure you're doing it in everything else.
It's the people who are willing to do twice as much as anyone else. Those are the people who end up winning. You go the extra mile, you push through the extra round, you do those extra reps. That's what defines if you become first or forgotten.
Champions are focused on the goal. They don't have time to be doing stuff that's not going to help them toward the goal. And so what you're focusing on throughout the course of the day, it has to change. What you're looking at, what you're reading, what you're watching, the conversations you have.
You gotta be focused entirely on your dreams, entirely on your goals. When you're great, you don't just focus on a week, you don't just focus on a month, you don't just focus on a year. You concentrate on the 24 hours that's in front of you and work as hard as possible to nail it.
You dominate in the dark. When nobody sees you, when no one knows what you're doing, those late hours and early mornings where you're working your ass off, nothing feels better than giving everything you have to the grind.
And a lot of people are confused as to how high drive, high success people can wake up every day and go at it. It's because they know that even if they feel bad, even if they don't feel like doing it, if they push through just a little bit, just a few more days, they're gonna see something that is gonna start to make them feel good. It's gonna give them belief, it's gonna get them motivation, and it's gonna make them feel like doing this is absolutely worth it, and not only worth it, but exciting. So if you're in this phase where it doesn't feel like it's worth it, where it doesn't feel like it's very fun, just remember, if you keep going and you do not let your feelings dictate what your actions will be, the results will always be there.
When you get to sit back and unwind after working yourself to the bone for those goals and dreams, you'll feel a sense of pride you might have never felt before. But you only ever get to that point if you get up and get to work.
The time of year, we try to make our dreams come true. But the reality of all that is sacrifice. And those dreams quickly become nightmares. But in those nightmares are where our demons lie. That's the domain in which they know we don't want to go into all those early mornings. It wakes up all these things that we failed at. Those demons are in those nightmares. That's what keeps us from accomplishing our dreams. So this year, their back is turned to the doorway. Because they know you ain't going into nightmare land, but you're going in there. And when the backs are turned, you're going to rear naked choke them motherfuckers out. Every one of them. That's the mentality you must have and always have.
People want to find peace immediately. You're going to find peace from going to war with yourself.
Make a declaration to yourself. Declare all out war that you're going to get out of this rut.
We are in control of our mind. We believe it's the other way around. No, we put in our minds what we should do. We have to reprogram it and tell us, no, we're good. This sucks, but it's okay.
If you don't program yourself, life will program you. In order to begin to reinvent your life, you've got to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort. You really have got to put all of yourself into it. It's very challenging to act, to do those things. There are times when you're looking at it and you say, I know I need to do this, but I don't feel like it.
What most of us are looking for is a special feeling of, oh, I feel great this morning. I'm going to get out of bed and get a quick 5 miles in or go to the gym. If you're looking for that feeling, let me tell you one thing, it ain't going to come. You have to learn to do when you don't want to do. Learn to bring that savage mentality out of yourself. The animalistic motherfucker. You think a savage gets up about how he feels or how she feels? Then just do it. Learn to be your best self when you're least motivated. Stop looking for a feeling to control what goes on in your life.
You should fucking quit. You should quit fucking quitting. Any path you take to get where you want to be, if that place is worthwhile to go, it's going to be fucking hard. So quit judging your quitting based upon how hard something is. Because every single path that you could possibly take to get somewhere where you want to be is going to be hard. Struggle, pain, misery, frustration, those are signs that you are on the right path and making progress. Nobody that is where you want to be has gotten there without these struggles, without the bleeding, without the pain, without the depression, without the misery. Nobody. And if you want to be something great, you are going to have to learn to accept the struggle as part of the recipe. Every single day you need to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I willing to do to get what I want? And if the answer is whatever the f*** I have to, you'll get there in time.
You're setting the example every single day of your life. You have to constantly owe that motherfucking machine. The machine is your mind. You got to keep challenging it every day.
The price of regret is much heavier than the price of discipline. You never want to wake up one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year down the road and go, man, I wish I would have listened to my gut. I wish I would have done this thing. You don't want to live in regret. If there's something you want to get done in work, your relationships, school, whatever it is, do it.
Life is one big head game. And once you learn to play the motherfucking head game, it's no longer a game anymore at all. You can start living your life.
Everybody's got big plans, but the plan's out the window when they get punched in the face.
stuff happens that are completely out of your control. And when we make plans, it is impossible in our finite state to be able to predict the unusual, unprecedented circumstances that will dramatically affect our plans. Plans will change. So how will you take the next step?
When everything says quit, keeps you going.
Life is going to test that will every time. Life is going to see how bad you want what you say you want.
It is the insecurity of the times that defines who you really are.
It's very easy to be motivated on those good days of life. It's that cat who can be at the bottom of the fucking sewer, who can find great motivation alone. There's no coach, there's no trainer, there's no nothing. There's no mom, dad, sister, cousin, brother, wife, husband. It's you and you alone in the worst possible spot of your life. If you can find drive, determination, motivation in those times alone, you figured it out. And we have it all in our minds. It's how you talk to yourself and how you visualize coming out of it. It's how you see yourself in the dungeon of life. Many of us can't find strength there, but there's so much strength in the dungeon because so many people just stay there. It's that motherfucker who's willing to come out of it that becomes glorious at the end of it all.
It is the chaos of the time that creates the conqueror in the man. Those exceptional people who are uncomfortable with the times and rise to the challenge because they refuse to allow the chaos around them to determine the conqueror within them. People who resist the toll to go down and stand fiercely in spite of opposition and say, I'm going to do it anyway.
Sometimes you gotta start all over again. Sometimes you gotta refresh, and you're so worried about your bills. You're so focused on everything else but you, and you don't realize you are what's gonna blow you up. You are what's gonna change your situation. You are what's gonna take you to the next level.
The only thing that's gonna determine is the inside world. The things that you believe and the actions you take every day are what shape your destiny.
Through every dark night, there's a bright day after that. So no matter how hard it get, stick your chest out, keep your head up, and handle it.
We can choose to surrender, or we can choose to take a stand and fight. And you've just got to decide that my life is worth this kind of effort. And fight with everything in you, night and day, with every breath that you have.
You must be patient, persistent, and positive no matter what. Because when you are negative, ladies and gentlemen, you're sending out negative energy and you're blocking your good.
I, as an act of my will, I've decided I'm going to rejoice. I made up my mind. I'm going to be happy. I made up my mind. I'm going to enjoy with what I got left. I'm going to maximize this. Shake yourself. Get rid of stinking thinking and bad attitudes and things that are holding you back. Don't shape yourself around the comings and goings of this world. Don't shape your opinions and your attitudes around circumstances that you cannot change. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed. As soon as you decide to stop looking for answers in other people and miracles somewhere down the yellow brick road and click the heels of your mind, you could have been free years ago. I cannot step into the future and still think in my past. I cannot let the rumors and the stain of what they said about me destroy my opportunity, because a new life comes from a new mind and a new way of looking at your life.
When no one's around, it's just you and your shadow. What are you gonna do, man? When everything says quit, what keeps you going?
Life is going to test that will every time. Life is going to see how bad you want what you say you want.
It's how we deal with these things in life that we find out who we are. These moments of depression when things go wrong. A girl breaking up with you, getting fired from a job, losing your money. These are all lessons. The presence in a way. But it's the perception of how you see that present. Do you allow it to destroy you, or do you allow it to change you?
I'm telling you right now, I know it's hard. I know it's hard. We're not gonna sit here and pretend like it's gonna be easy. I know it's not. But I'm telling you, the sooner you deal with it, and the sooner you get past it, the sooner you can get on with the rest of your life.
I want to ask you, what are you going to believe? Are you going to believe in yourself? Are you going to believe everybody else's judgment on you? You see, I will try 100 times to get up, and if I fail 100 times, if I fail and I give up, do you think that I'm ever going to get up? No. But if I fail, I try again and again and again. For as long as I try, there's always that chance of getting up.
And the problem with most of y'all, every time something goes wrong, you start running and doing what other people tell you to do. And what you need to learn how to do is you walk into your belief system. Look at your belief system every single day and stick with it. Don't rush the process, trust the process. Don't rush the process, trust the process. Don't rush the process, trust the process. Storms happen to all of us. Losers. Losers get weak and give up. Losers surrender. Losers give in. But winners, they are fueled by the storm. Pain actually pushes them to greatness. They actually love it. They actually feel it. They like the pressure. And if you can grind your way through the hell, if you can grind your way through that defeat, if you can grind your way through that pain, if you can grind your way through it, I'm telling you, it's going to come to pass. Say it with me and breathe life into whatever that thing is. Whatever your circumstances are, say with me, I can, I will get through this. I must. It's gonna rain sometimes, I can. You're gonna feel discouraged sometimes, I will. No matter what the obstacle, I must. I am a winner. I will not give up. I will not surrender. And in the midst of hell, and in the midst of trials, and in the midst of tribulations, I shall rise. I will not give up, and I will not give in. I will use the pain to push me to greatness. Why? Because I am a winner, and all I do is rise above it. All I do is win. All I do is conquer. I will never surrender. I will grind my way through the disappointments. I will grind my way through the defeat. I will grind my way through it, and I shall be victorious. You thought you was just gonna have a dream and a goal, and you were just gonna wake up and just walk into the sunset. You're like, dream, boom. If I come back a year later, you still on the ground, that's your fault. If you get knocked down, there's nothing you can do about it. But getting back up has every single thing to do with you. And you will promise me that from this day forward, you will not be defeated. I need you to make up in your mind that the only way you can lose is if you quit. I just need you to keep going.
You don't even know how creative you are until you run out of options. I am excited about your future because your darkness is about to be your development.
Now listen to me. I don't care what you're going through. If you're not dead, he ain't through with you yet. As long as you waking up, you still in the game. As long as you alive, you can still make it happen. As long as that breath in your nostrils move, you still in the game. You still can win. Now get your butt up. Why do you keep crying? Why me, God? Why did I get MS? Why did I get cancer? Why did my mama die? Why did I get fired? Listen, you got put through that because what that does, that tension produces greatness. Stop running from it and run to it.
Lions don't cry. Lions don't give up. Lions don't quit. Lions hunt. That's what we do for a living. We turn tragedy into triumph.
This has been a dog fight. But I made up in my mind, I will not go through this pain and not get a reward for it. I will not quit. I will not surrender. I will outlast every trial and every tribulation that comes in my life. And sometimes if you're going to be successful, it's not how smart you are. It's not how strong you are. It's how much you can outlast stuff. If you're ready to quit, don't get started. If you're looking for this easy path, don't get started. If you think they're not going to close the door on you and say no a million times, don't get started. But every time they close the door, I just get excited. Why? Because I am not a no. I'm one yes away.
You can't keep telling me no forever. You can't keep denying me forever. This type of energy, this type of passion, you can't stop it.
Where does the switch come from? The overdrive. It is the thing that allows you to go the extra distance, to dig a little deeper, to push a little harder. It takes both emotion and logic to reach your maximum potential, to really give everything you have, to go beyond your limits. Because emotion and logic will both reach their limitations. And when one fails, you need to rely on the other. When it just doesn't make any logical sense to go on, that's when you use your emotion, your anger, your frustration, your fear to push further, to push you to say one thing: I don't stop. When your feelings are screaming that you have had enough, when you think you are going to break emotionally, override that emotion with concrete logic and willpower that says one thing: I don't stop. Fight weak emotions with the power of logic. Fight the weakness of logic with the power of emotion. And in the balance of those two, you will find the strength to say to yourself, I don't stop.
Everybody wants the prize, but nobody loves the process. Everybody wants to be a champion, but nobody's willing to put in the work that it takes to be a champion. Everybody wants to hold up the trophy and say, man, I did it, but nobody's willing to put in the work that it takes to do it. I love the process. I love the thought of working for what I want. And I firmly believe you're never supposed to wish for it more than you're willing to work for it. Your expectations never supposed to exceed your effort. But a lot of people, they wish and they're not willing to work. And the great thing about life has a funny way of testing all of us and seeing how bad we really want what it is that we say we want. When you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. That's why cats can give up so easy. They ain't got nothing invested. But when a cat work for something, like when a cat been sacrificed for something, well, you gonna have a cold day in hell before you take it from him.
You can't be good and be a legend. You can't be great, really, and be a legend. You gotta be phenomenal. I want you to push for legend. It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game. You think you become a champion on the field? You don't. You become a champion when ain't nobody watching you. You're doing your own drills and your own way. You're doing what coach tell you to do, and you're doing your own stuff. You become a champion in the dark when ain't nobody looking. You don't become no champion when you put no doggone helmet on. You become a champion the way you eat. You become a champion the way you think. You become a champion in your grind. When nobody knows what you're doing. When you put in those extra reps. When you watching those videos and you getting inspired. When you change your music and you just get on stage and you shine. It's the process that makes you sweet.
You're going to hit a wall. There's a period. Let me tell you how it goes. When things are going real good, when you first start off, life is playing with you. You're going to hit a wall. You're going to be going and things are looking great. You're excited. You're going to tell everybody about it. And then all of a sudden you hit a wall. Wham! And that wall shocks some people. That wall stuns some people. That wall knocked the life out of some people. That wall discouraged some people. It's painful hitting that wall. In time of adversity, you don't have an obstacle to deal with. You have a choice to make. Some will choose to go back. They turn their power down. And they have defeated themselves in their minds and say, I can't do it. And there's some small number who, when they hit that wall, they decide, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be over there. This kind of person refuses to be denied. This person doesn't care about the pain. This person comes back again and again and again. And if you keep on hitting that wall, here's what happens to you. That you will have an incredible breakthrough. And it's as if the universe says, let's help him out. I admire that kind of tenacity. As you're working times with tears falling down your face, and you look back on the times and you will cherish those times.
As you do that, as you go through that, when you come through, ladies and gentlemen, when you come through that valley, when you come through that fight, there'll be a look in your eyes that everybody will know this is a different person here. The harder the challenge, the greater the growth.
Your problem, it might not make any sense. And your pain might not make any sense. And your circumstance might be illogical. But listen to me.
If your life at times feels like, looks like labor, you are doing it right. Keep on pushing. There is breakthrough coming, and when you're holding your prize, the pain and the suffering will pale in comparison. Don't give up. It will be worth it.
Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react.
And I'm telling you, the way to ignite the dream is you gotta shut out every single thing, and you gotta believe I am the greatest.
And so life normally breaks you because when it hits you, you wasn't ready. But if you stay ready and you stay plugged up, when you hear bad news, it don't break you because you already energized. Today might not be the day, but soon it will be my day, and I will recycle my pain. If you're gonna be successful in this game, you gotta have a dog within you. You gotta know it's a dog fight, and you gotta go get that fight. Life ain't gonna be easy. Ain't nobody gonna hand you nothing. Champions keep going when they don't have anything left in their tank. When they don't have no more. When it's over. When they're tired. When they're frustrated. When they're ready to give up. When they spent their last dime. That's when they get started. It's when you have nothing left. It's when you depleted all your money. When all your energy gone. When you have nothing left. That's when it's showtime. When you find a way out of no way. When you find breath that you don't have. When you find energy that did not exist. When you want this thing as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you find a way.